If you ever thought about making a charcuterie board for that special someone or for a get-together, you've come to the right place. Pop open a bottle of wine, pour it in the glass, sit back, and enjoy a masterpiece in the making. Now we're here at the cheese section, where as you can see can be very intimidating. Don't worry about it, I was shocked too on how much cheese there really is. It didn't bother me much since I love cheese. The core foods that go on a charcuterie board are an assortment of cheeses. Hard cheese such as Parmesan, Asiago, or an aged Gouda. Firm cheese such as cheddar or Colby. Semi-soft like Munster and Havarti. And soft cheeses like Brie, sheep, or goat cheese. You can also use blue cheese or a crumbly cheese like feta. The next core foods are cured meats like salami, dry chorizo, or prosciutto. And also an assortment of crackers, fruits, and dip. And to enhance the flavor, pick your favorite wine or whatever you or your guests like to drink. I've been making charcuterie boards for about 4 years now, anywhere from 3 to 4 times a month. Alright guys, we made it home in one piece. Let me show you first what you'll need to put your wine and cheese board together. First thing you need is something to put all your food on. I have a wooden board that I like to use, but you could also use a regular plastic tray or a nice cutting board. Another option if you would like to keep your items cold for a little while is to get yourself a marble serving dish like this. Put it in the refrigerator or freezer for best results and it'll keep cold a whole lot longer than a wooden board ever would. This is optional, but a wire cheese cutter makes cutting the cheese real easy and makes your cheese look a lot neater. The other option is just to use a nice sharp knife. Just take your time and the cheese will come out just fine. Now let's get to the stars of the show. The first 2 cheeses will be the soft cheeses to spread on crackers. This is Brie, which is flavored with chives and has an earthy, nutty, salty, rich taste to it, and it's very creamy. Easily spread on crackers. Just leave it out for about half an hour while you get your food together and it'll be nice and soft. And just FYI, yes, you do eat the rind, which adds excellent flavor to the cheese. Brie is also known as the queen of cheeses. The next soft cheese is sheep cheese with strawberry preserves. It has a sweet and savory taste, it's creamy and rich. Leave this out with the Brie and it'll soften up just fine for crackers. Next we have some firm cheeses. This one is a cheddar infused with habanero and tequila. Real spicy, and it's called Rattlesnake Cheddar Cheese by Deer Creek. It's one of our favorites. Next is cheddar cheese. You can choose the sharpness that you like, mild, sharp, extra sharp, aged. The list goes on. Get the kind that you like. This one is a sharp cheddar. Last but not least for the cheese is a semi-soft cheese. This is a goat cheese that has been soaked in red wine, as you can see by the outside rind. The cheese is nice and soft, it's creamy, not salty. The red wine complements the cheese very well. I highly recommend. On to the crackers. I purchased 2 types of crackers that we haven't tried before. These are sweet olive oil crackers. I did try them and they are very good. They have the hardiness of a Ritz cracker and pair well with the strawberry goat cheese. The next cracker is coated with bits of manchego cheese, which is a cheese from Spain that is made with sheep's milk. It's an excellent cheese, by the way. I'll show you that in another wine and cheese video. And our favorite type of cracker is a simple plain butter crouton, as they're called on the package. Plain is the way to go in my opinion. That way a plain cracker won't overpower the taste of the items that you have on your tray. On to the fruits. First we have an assortment of olives, green and Kalamata Greek olives. Next we have some green grapes and a variety of berries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, and strawberries. And next we have a sour cherry spread that tastes just like, well, sour cherry. Nice addition to complement any cheese. Now for the meat. To make it easy, you can purchase a charcuterie trio pack just like this. I also purchased, which I forgot to take a photo of, was a Spanish dry chorizo, which you'll see later in the video. Next I used a variety of mixed nuts. These are macadamia nuts, which have a butter-like, creamy texture with a faint hint of white chocolate. We also have some raw mixed nuts and salted and unsalted peanuts. On to the chocolates. I always change it up and try different chocolates all the time. We have some blueberry dark chocolate and an everything but the kitchen sink milk chocolate, which has peanuts, pretzels, chipotle chili pepper, and sea salt. These are amaretto filled chocolates, a new favorite of ours. And lastly on the food list, we have amaretto frosted pecans, also a new favorite. We had amaretto flavored cake for me and my wife's wedding and we loved it. Highly recommend to try anything amaretto flavored, which has an almond-ish taste with a hint of cherry in the background. And last but not least, you can't have wine and cheese night without wine. We also try different wines all the time. This is what we had laying around. I always start off with my Brie. I'm gonna put it right in the middle. And the next cheese I'm gonna put is the sheep cheese, the strawberry one. Probably gonna do half of it. And just put that right next to the Brie. The Brie is actually has chives in it, in the rind. Right there. It's got chives in the rind. A lot of people, if they've never eaten Brie, then they feel like this is mold or they shouldn't eat it. No, you definitely eat this. enhances the flavor big time. Whenever you're using your cheese slicer, line up your cheese to whatever thickness you want. It cuts like butter, it's not sharp so you don't have to worry about cutting yourself, and don't worry about making a mistake. You can just eat those. Okay, after the soft cheeses, I start laying out my other cheeses, then the crackers, the meats, and then the fruit. Remember to be creative. You can arrange these around in a circular pattern. You could place the soft cheeses on small plates along with the mixed nuts, and there's also cheese boards that come with small serving bowls along with cheese spreaders and mini forks. Now, in my opinion, there's 3 rules when making this type of board. First is choose what you or your guests like to snack on. Other people's tastes can be different from yourself, so choose what works for you. And if you're not sure what to get, that's why you're here. I won't steer you in the wrong direction, so put your trust in my hands. When folding the salami, you can fold these in half or you can roll them up. If you decide to roll them, you may need to let them get to room temperature so they'll be easier to fold. If you try to roll them when they're cold, they'll keep trying to return to their shape and keep getting you frustrated. I'm just going to fold mine in half. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start laying out my fruit, the grapes, and all the assorted berries, and then we're almost done. Now, going back to the rules I was talking about, the second rule is to use your imagination and be creative. No 2 boards will ever look the same, and the final rule is to simply have fun. Don't stress when making it. It's easy to hide any mistakes you think you may have made. And actually, just one more rule. If you like the video so far and haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing to stay up to date with much more fancy, elegant, down-to-earth videos just like this. I really would appreciate it. And after arranging your fruit, this is the point where you can really make your wine and cheese board start to pop, by filling in any gaps with small items like the olives, the chocolates, the frosted amaretto pecans, and mixed nuts. Now, I decided to put the sour cherry dip in the middle of the brie and strawberry goat cheese. I also decided to make some strawberry roses to make it look real fancy. Now, remember when I said that you decide what makes your charcuterie board? Well, stay to the end to see what I added. Here's the finished product, guys. Now you're ready to be the star of the party. All that's left to do is pop that bottle, pour a glass of wine, and enjoy your wine and cheese night. I also added some Carolina Reaper hot Cheetos. Remember the first rule, guys. Choose what you like to snack on. Thank you all for watching. Please consider subscribing if you enjoy the content. Plenty more coming up. Have a blessed day and enjoy your wine and cheese night. Cheers.